Hi, Carol here from That Irish Schoolhouse. Welcome to my channel. Ignore the mess. I just realised I didn't do a proper intro or anything, so please excuse it. I got a question about what readers my 7 going on 8-year-old does. So last year, in first grade, which is first class, he really didn't like the readers, and we were kind of doing like crossover readers, and I realized actually this year I'll just do my own readers. And so I think I had mentioned that at some point, and so these are the readers. I realized when I was going to write a full message that there was a lot of explanation as to why I liked the different readers. So I figured I'd do a video. I'm sorry that it's not perfect or beautiful or wonderful. I think probably if you've seen any of my videos, you would know that that's not my style. Okay, so I got a question about what readers I am using this year for. He's going into second class. He is turning 8 in October. So second class, second grade. And I will show you my readers that he is doing. Here we have the books that we are basically doing. We've already done 1 and 2, and then we will do this. What I have been doing with this, and this is the Viking quest one, it's simple language and it's encouraging, but he has been already reading the first page of every chapter. It's not super exciting language, but he's used to reading that. Then these two, 10 boys who made a difference, 10 girls who made a difference. These are Christian-based stories, and they're quite short. Again, he was reading 1 or 2 pages of each of these books, and then I would finish off the chapter. The font is Comic Sans, so it's quite easy to read. The words are not too difficult, although the font is a little bit smaller than he would probably like, although it is aimed at children, even though it is biographies, so it is quite easy language. The next lot I have is a new one. Now my older son read them. He's 11 and he got through them pretty quick and he enjoyed them. It was a recommendation, and I was just trying to find something that would be interesting for my son to read himself. So the font is slightly bigger than the previous. Looks like Italic Sans or something like that. Now, what am I doing? Italic. Yeah. Or Times Roman or whatever. So we've already done the first chapter. He read the first 3 pages, I think. And then I read the rest of the chapter. So I'm kind of just picking it up like that. There are some words or intonation that would be difficult. Thermometer was actually okay. Mosquito, I think, was probably a tough word on this one. And then we did a lot of conceptual work at the end. You know, the first one was a lot of internal dialogue, and we were trying to understand what the context was, why the person kept saying these things to themselves, and I think there is pictures every so often. I think at the end of the chapter. It was a long chapter, yeah. So I think this we'll get through them slow enough. I think it might be a tough-ish one to get in, but I'm going to build up on it. And he's already read 2 or 3 pages of the first chapter, and I'm going to do it like that. So he'll read some and then I read some. I am reading this to my children. Again, he's going into second class. My second classer would read the first page of this, and then I would continue the chapter. Now they really love this book, A Little Pilgrim's Progress. It is excellent. It's tough. It's a really tough language, but it's very short chapters, which is very helpful, I think, to keep things going. Like, look, that's just like 2.5 pages because there's a picture there. And so my son would read this. My son would just read this page, and then I'd read the rest, and then we'd have a talk afterwards about comprehension and how much we understood. And so we're still going through that. I think yeah, you can see there. I know I'm one of those people who folds pages. So we're over halfway. And then the final reader is this one. Now, Tim Chester, I was so surprised that he did more of a family-focused book. He is a Christian theologian. He's very, very clever. And when I heard about his book, I was like, huh? But we were part of a Zoom call of a live book reading, and it was really interesting. The kids loved it. Basically, this one is all about dragons and Dragonslayers. It's multiple stories that are written by Tim Chester, and there are illustrations as well. I think his language is quite good. He's definitely simplified it well compared to how he usually writes. There's a clear gospel focus at the end, which as Christians, we are always trying to head in that direction with our kids. The font is definitely bigger than the Girls Who Changed the World or the Boys Who Changed the World. It's definitely bigger. And I think all of the words, even though they're difficult, it's helpful to be able to go through that with my child. Like, I won't just let him stand there and read all these crazy words. Like, I will be helping him. And then obviously we do comprehension afterwards. So that's quite a short chapter. We might even take the chapters in twos, but I know my son was excited to read this one because at the family Zoom book reading, Tim Chester read, I think 3 of them or 2 of them, and Hunter was really excited. So he's looking forward to reading this himself. And again, it's all about progress. I haven't done I'll turn it around. Okay, so I haven't done on my flick through of 2nd grade yet. So I'm not really too sure what the story will be with that and how my readers will go along with him. I know that my readers are age appropriate for him in so fact as the way that we do them. So as I commented there, some of the fonts are quite small, some of the words are quite large, some of the vocabulary isn't something that people would use all the time. But I think that's why having like multiple different readers is helpful, because one might be easier than the other, and we don't do all of them every day. We just get through them. And I think also the way that I'm doing it right now, we started on last year, he was doing 1 page per chapter, and now he's kind of doing 2 or 3 pages per chapter. We're going to build up to him reading a whole chapter. And as I do my flick through, I've already done my flick through of K, which is senior infants. So I am pretty sure that these are age appropriate readers or level appropriate. For a while there, I was thinking he was going to struggle with reading, but actually he's really good at it. If he tries, if he has an interest in reading, he's really good at it. He's very slow and moans a lot if it's not interesting, if the story or the content is boring. He's just like, oh, I don't want to do it. And then he kind of just like freaks himself out and, thinks he doesn't know it, but he does. So having something that it might actually be a little bit harder, but it's interesting and it's exciting, and who wants to get to the end of the chapter is actually a better situation for us, even if I have to help him a little bit more than I would have to do with the readers that come with the Good and the Beautiful. Yeah, the readers that came with the Good and the Beautiful last year were just a non-starter. It was a struggle to get through them. So I think doing our own readers is going to be the way to go with him. Sticking with the readers for my daughter for the moment, and we'll see how she reacts or copes. And I think definitely as a homeschooling mom, this is just how we gotta roll with the punches. Just like see where different children are at and just accommodate them. And actually, I don't really like these ones. I do and I don't, but it's very simple language, so I think these were definitely good starter ones for him to start reading the one page. And we're 2 books in and we've only got 1 book left to do, so we will finish it. All right, I hope that's helpful. And oh, actually, in case I didn't say, like, so we're Christian, and so these are faith-based books and faith-based readers that we chose. So, but I think our reasoning behind it could definitely be also applicable to secular homeschooling as well, insofar as not using the assigned readers but yet choosing a reader that is exciting or more age appropriate for your child, like looking at things like font, type of vocabulary, sentence structure. This one, there's a lot of first person internal dialogue, also external dialogue too, so there's a lot of reading sentences in a probably more animated way, so it's conversational. So this is a lot more conversational than this would be. And that's the Pilgrim's Progress. So I think definitely all of that can be transferred to any type of homeschool that you choose. So I hope that's helpful.